Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a crunch time now. My fault. I ain't have my mic on. We getting to crunch time now, though. You feel me? We've been talking a whole lot about raps and all that good shit. You feel me? And it's been an amazing time. We're gonna keep talking about it because that's the core of what we're doing here. But listen, it's a main aspect of the conversation a lot of people don't want to have. You feel me? And people, we have it in safe ways, but I don't think we really breaking down what the fuck is going on here. You feel me? To sit here and act like this just some battle between two niggas that don't like each other. Even when Kendrick side try to get you to think that this is just a battle, everybody know this shit ain't just a battle, nigga. What are we doing? Shout out Noah Peppers. That's love, bro. Shout out Let me get to the chat real quick. Shout out Radically Retro. You feel me? Shout out Noel Peppers. I appreciate you for the super chat, fam. He said, keep up the great time for the culture. Hell yeah. Shout out Regal Love. Shout out Majik Lady. Shout out No Peppers. Yeah, sugar free. That's my shit. Sugar free. That's my shit right there. Oh, shout out Violence. They're not gonna like this one. I don't think they're gonna like this one. I don't think they're gonna like this one. We about to get into some shit. They ain't gonna like this one. But I've been waiting. I've been ready to have I've been ready. Yeah, we just started, bro. I've been ready to have this conversation. Cause this is the thing. Sometimes you gotta think forward. You feel me? Like the second I saw this battle go down with Kendrick, I knew what the fuck was going on. I knew what was going on. And that's because I understand white supremacy. That's because I understand propaganda and the shit they try to do with the media. You feel me? And we're going to get into that today. You see what I'm saying? We're going to really talk about, just all corners of white supremacy, how it plays a major role in our society. It's a religion. So when I hear people say Kendrick Lamar is an industry puppet used to take down Drake, I'm like, where the fuck they do that at? And we're not censoring this one. Shout out to McConan. Much love, bro. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. But I had to ask, where they do that? Because I had no idea. I don't remember a time, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember a time where we use a black man to take down somebody who has alliances with white supremacy just by his nature. Just by the things he's willing to do, the things he's willing to say. Talking about burning down hip-hop memorabilia and shit, and niggas think that's normal, just diss tracks. Nigga, that's colonizer talk. You think niggas get all this fucking money and they just on some regular timing? No, niggas not on regular timing. These niggas is touching millions and millions and influencing millions of people. Niggas don't get on songs and say, I burn all that shit that you bought from your boss, give a fuck about all that heritage shit. Niggas don't say that on accident. And niggas think niggas say that on accident. No, they don't say that on accident. They are amplifying narratives that keep us in the position that we in mentally. A lot of people think it's about money. It's not about money. Niggas got to get their minds right first. But all the money come anyway. But as a community, we got to get our minds right. We got to understand what shit look like when they trying to stray us in certain directions. And you got to know when to play your part. You feel me? And I'm looking at this Pusha T shit. I'm like, oh yeah, the can of worms is open now. Let's call it what it is. You can't tell me a Kendrick Lamar, a nigga who rap about things that they listen. This nigga got motherfuckers talking about responsibility, accountability. You telling me they want people to hear this shit? Or is the nigga just the money right now because the industry is down and out? And one of the only niggas who can bring that energy is Kendrick. And they know that. You try to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. One of the only niggas who got that authentic influence and is showing in all aspects, that's the nigga they got to run behind right now because he got the money. Did y'all really think that they thought he was going to beat Drake? Did y'all really think that they thought he was going to win the public opinion? Fuck no. If you was there before Euphoria dropped, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You feel me? We gotta listen. We gotta get it together. He said, proud of support. They ain't gonna like this one. Fuck that though. We here and we know what's going on. Use your brain. White man's world, real talk. Now let me preface everything before I say this. I'm not one of them people that hate white people. I used to be. I can definitely admit that. I used to. Like for real. You feel me? But as I grew older, you feel me? And went to been in certain environments, I learned more about myself. I learned more about, the pain that comes up when we talk about this type of shit. That inferiority and all that, right? And you learn people is people. Your environment is what shapes you. So ultimately, everybody, if I put you if you lived a certain way your whole life, and I pick you up and put you somewhere else, a lot of niggas not gonna be able to understand you immediately. You're gonna have to get to know niggas and, oh yeah, I'm from here. Oh, that makes sense. Boom, boom, boom. That's because your environment shape you. You feel me? So you got a bunch of these white people who might not even have access to anything for real. Because a lot of niggas don't, a lot of people is broke. You feel me right now because of the way we set up right now. But it's a lot of white motherfuckers that don't got no attachment to nothing. They benefit socially, right? But not necessarily as much as somebody else would systemically. So you gonna benefit from white supremacy regardless, but we still human. It's just the way the world's set up right now. You can recognize both. You can recognize, I know this person is just a human, but if our environment, our society was different, I don't think they would think this. While also understanding you got to play your cards right while being around them. While also understanding your authenticity will shine through regardless. Some people think it's got to be black or white. It don't got to be black or white. You can understand both. You feel me? Understand we all human, but we grew up different. Boom. That trickles all the way down from the systems that are being built to teach these ideologies and keep everybody under control. White supremacy is the only thing everybody in this bitch follow, whether you do it subconsciously or consciously. White supremacy, more than Christianity, white supremacy, the only fucking thing that everybody follow in one way or another. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at this shit from that perspective, when I hear the narratives that niggas be trying to make, that don't make sense to me. Because you can't tell me a nigga who was able to censor you, right? A nigga who was able to censor your voice has less power than you. A nigga who can go make a court case, a court situation, just a lawsuit and all that, and get your songs blocked, get all different shit. That nigga has power. You see what I'm saying? And they trying to convince you he don't got no fucking power because he got his ass whooped. No. By product, you have power. By product. It's the reason they chose you, nigga. It's the reason they chose you. Yeah, we keeping it real today. It's the main reason they chose you. The problem was it didn't go like niggas thought it would go this time. And now we in an interesting timeline. That's all that's going on. We in an interesting timeline now where shit is confusing a little bit. Shout out to Trouble Latrice. Glad I'm catching this live. Get that scalpel out, July. Let's get surgical. Absolutely. I got a video pulled up for us. We're going to watch that video, break it down, and then we're going to get into the clips article. All right? And we're going to take what we see in this video and break it down by listening to what Clips is saying and point out, like, okay, this is where this shows up. This is where this shows up. Now, you've been on my channel for a minute. You know, on here, I had a video that I disguised it as Drake, boom, boom. But when you watch the video, we talking about not Neely Fuller, Noam Chomsky and manufactured consent, right? So manufactured consent is pretty much just, it's the same package they use for white supremacy in general. It's the same as that package. That's why they use it in propaganda the way they do. And if you notice, if you pay attention how Drake's team is moving, how they have certain journalists covering shit in a certain way in order to push that propaganda, right? You start to notice these are the same tactics that Noam Chomsky's talking about. Like, that's what we're talking about right there. When you look at like a thing like flack is where when somebody is going against the status quo in journalism or whatever, right? What they'll do is they'll gather all the media that's under one umbrella and smear campaign that individual, however you got to do it. And that's how they set up. The Drake fans on Twitter, they do a decent job at this, right? Where even a nigga like me, I'll make a post, boom, boom, boom. They got pictures of me in tinfoil hats, right? That automatically categorizes me and automatically creates unbiased, a biased perspective that you don't even got to look into my shit. It discredits me immediately. So there's a portion of that side that's not going to come listen, right? That's what flack is. And you can see exactly how they do it. DJ Academics. You feel me? The second this shit came out, all of a sudden they back on that conspiracy theory tip. Yeah, I ain't gonna bother Rock Nation. I'll go with Drake before I bother Rock Nation. That's reiterating the ideology. I mean, the idea that anybody involved with Rock Nation is under this Illuminati belt, right? Where these niggas is, you feel me? It's great tactics. And based on that, even if they come out with some real shit or somebody say some real shit or whatever, they automatically discredit it because it's like, oh, it's an Illuminati smear campaign. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, I be peeping game. And I always knew the second Euphoria came out, I knew from that moment forward, this had become bigger than rap. Because there was a bunch of people saying that Kendrick Lamar's song was better. From that moment, I knew, okay, they've lost the narrative. Kendrick Lamar speaks on it on 616 in LA. You feel me? The forced opinions is not convincing. Y'all need a new route. What you think he talking about when he mean forced opinions? He talking about propaganda. This propaganda all stems back to the corners of white supremacy. That's where it all roots. Everything you see in this fucking country, even if you go outside the country, it's colorism everywhere. This ideology has dominated the world. So you can never let a motherfucker convince you that it's in better nature of the system to use a black man to destroy a white man. Don't let them do that, even if it's an isolated situation. Even if in the public opinion, Kendrick Lamar won, we making fun of Drake, boom, boom, boom. Behind the scenes, they can't censor that nigga. That's what white supremacy is. You have the power. You can build the power to say what you want, Can I tell Trump to shut the fuck up and really make him shut the fuck up? Can I tell any of these motherfuckers on that side to shut the fuck up and really make them shut the fuck up? That's power, nigga. I don't give a fuck if 100 million people say Drake a pedophile. And can he censor me? Yes. That's power. You don't have the power if you can't tell somebody shut the fuck up and really make them shut the fuck up. Real talk. You feel me? So, from that, exactly, when niggas categorized Doechii and Kendrick as CIA planted government mandated rappers, I knew we lost the plot. Listen, it's the tricknology okie doke. Whatever is true about us, we gonna flip it on you. Okay? Drake is the industry plan. We know this. The nigga was on Degrassi popping before he ever did a song. Before he ever dropped some shit. He on commercials at 9 years old. You feel me? Let's just keep it tall. I'm just glad this happened because now we can really talk about it. Okay? My thing is, when you look at individuals like Drake, who constantly is able to take somebody's voice away, you can't tell me that nigga's fighting in the industry. You can't. And the reason why I'm talking about this, I really thought it was just Drake fans that think this. No, there's a couple people that you can walk up in every day and they will reiterate some of this shit. And I'm like, the propaganda got that far? Even on something like this? That's how you know it's not a game. This shit is not a game, bro. At all. Hey, shout out, hold on, let me get this up there. Hold on. I'll be an old man with the technology. I swear to God, bro. I'm really an old man with the technology. This one right here said, hey, shout out to bro for the super chat too. He said, you need to go listen to Little Brother, May the Lord Watch album. It's about Drake, especially the song. Huh. Interesting. I'm going to check that out. Appreciate you, bro. But look, why y'all think we about to go to world, we let off control? Listen, they don't want us to get into that conversation, and I see your profile picture. And because I see your profile picture, I'm going to make a quick point, and then we're going to watch this video. Right. So, this profile picture is from an anime called Attack on Titan. It's my favorite anime of all time. And this is going to show you, like, what I like in entertainment, right? My favorite rappers, Tupac, Kendrick Lamar. My favorite anime, Attack on Titan. The one thing they got that the similar theme is the reality, the politics. You feel me? The politics of the real world. You see what I'm saying? And you can watch shows like this and add on and see how, I'm not going to spoil for nobody, but you can see how the motherfuckers writing these stories are well on game when it comes to propaganda and all that too. I love Attack on Titan because I heard of Noam Chomsky and read Noam Chomsky. So when I was able to watch that show, I could see them talk, like displaying the 5 steps of manufactured consent as media in the show was trying to spin narratives to control the countries, right? And bro, when you look at art in that fashion, that type of art is the art that people want to censor the most. They try to hide it behind saying it's vulgar, it's all this different shit, right? But in reality, it's too much truth in it. You see what I'm saying? It's no different with Kendrick Lamar. It's no different with Kendrick Lamar. You think these narratives of, oh, Kendrick Lamar is just like, come on, the nigga said you rap like you trying to get the slaves free. Niggas think that's on accident. No, that's not on accident. That's not on accident, bro. That's not on accident. They do that on purpose because they know what narratives they're trying to paint on this. They know the audience they're gearing up towards. He said, I remember what they did to Public Enemy. Listen, you feel me? But now that we're talking about that, let's watch this video. Okay. I'm gonna test the sound. Y'all let me know if it's good. If they cut off, if they copyright it or whatever, then I'll just start another stream and we'll just go straight to the clip shit. You feel me? So let me pull it up. I'm sure some of y'all are familiar with Neely Fuller. Rest in peace. I used to watch Neely Fuller a lot when I was a teenager. You feel me? And this shit really taught me a lot as far as, you know, because I was actually around the time I was listening to this, I was homeless at the time. So I was trying to spend my time, like, you feel me, like just trying to dissect shit, lock in with like and build on my information. It's really all I had to do at the time. So Neely Fuller, I don't think I would watch these animations of Neely Fuller, right? And it would just be a cartoon version of him breaking down white supremacy on this channel called Hip Hop Cartoons. Y'all should go check that out. Hip Hop Cartoons is an incredible channel. If you're a person that's like, you would rather see some visual stuff, but you love learning, but you know your attention span might not be strong enough to just sit down and read a bunch of books. I think Hip Hop Cartoons is an incredible channel for you to go watch and just pick up on shit while remaining entertained. You feel me? But y'all tell me how it sound as far as the volume goes.
That's the royal category. The royal category based on color.
Give me a one if you can hear that. Give me a number one if you can hear that in the chat. Y'all was able to hear that? One. I just subscribed to them. 5 1 1 1 1. All right, say less. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yeah. That's the royal category. The royal category based on color. You have all kinds of royalism, kings and queens and all like that. The system of white supremacy is a category based on color and non-color. And if you're in the color category, black, brown, red, yellow, beige, tan, etc., then you are eligible to be dominated and mistreated by people who classify themselves as the non-color white.
Right. And that's like the basis of what it is. The problem is this shit exists everywhere. Okay? This shit is everywhere. Okay? And you know what? Let's keep going real quick before I start breaking it down.
And I kind of went in depth on that. But basically, that's really what it's all about. It's just a form of mistreatment based on color. That's what white supremacy is. That's what I have in my book. And that's what I've been saying all down through the decades and whatnot. If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is, and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. Now, sometimes people say, well, you mean everything that I understand will confuse me if I don't understand racism? Yes, because racism is the dominant political and religious motivating force among the people of the planet.
And I remember when I first heard that, I was like, what? But this when I started learning, like, the power of words. He said the sound echoing. No, that's the video. The video got that echo in it on this part. My fault. But yeah, the video got they put reverb on his voice. But what was I saying? Damn, what was I saying? Hold on.
Political.
Right. So when I first heard that, right, I was like, nigga, what? A religion? How? Right? But then you look up the actual definition of religion, and essentially all it is just the worship of something greater. Right? That you probably get a gathering of a bunch of people, boom, boom. And this is when I started realizing, like, damn, like, Even things all the way down to the definition of terms, to the definition of terms is used to cover shit up, and all the way down to words, and is used to make, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So white supremacy is by definition a religion. And if it is, it's the biggest religion in the world, because it's the only religion that we all gotta follow. We all gotta follow that shit. You see what I'm saying? Whether you do it consciously or subconsciously, everybody gotta follow it, because that's currently the era that we in. It's dominated by whiteness. Now, this doesn't mean to, you see what I'm saying, do the same thing and discriminate against white people. I don't think that's what the conversation is about. I think the conversation is about acknowledging what you're in, acknowledging that constantly you are at war. Now, it's not to disturb you emotionally or spiritually. That's another thing. It's to separate it. Separate, like, not have it to where it has you down all the time. Because that's what can happen. You can see this reality and be discouraged and feel like you don't have, like, you see what I'm saying? But in reality, it's separate from your emotional and spiritual being. You can't allow things to control what you do, but you can respond. You see what I'm saying? So based on that, this shit is a religion that everybody follows. You feel me? And in one way or another, to recognize that, so you're able to see things before you have to see them. If you understand exactly environmental conditioning, so if you see, so you'll be able to see certain things and be like, nah, that don't make no sense. Because if we all follow the guides of white supremacy, right, by subconsciously or consciously, that anything that would be a detriment to that supremacy is probably not going to be great, unless you gotta allow it for now. But on the general aspect, nah. And that's really what this shit come down to.
And religious motivate force among the people of the planet in all 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. That covers just about everything that any person, minute by minute, might be doing or engaged in any time of day or night, anywhere on the planet.
Chandler Unified School District is proud to be the premier district of choice.
Once again, and I want to acknowledge this real quick. You're saying being aware of that is what vote used to mean. Let's just break this down. If you was on the internet and you remember when motherfuckers first or whatever, or even if, you know what I'm saying, on a person-to-person basis, when motherfuckers used to use woke, it used to mean a whole different thing. It used to mean a whole different thing. But do y'all think it was an accident that the word was psyop or co-opted? Do y'all think that was an accident? Absolutely the fuck not. If the word keeps going around and people are trying to keep figuring out what it means, woke means, you feel me, you're aware. It's really just awareness. Woke means you're aware, right? You're aware of the things that cannot be seen. And what I mean by the things that cannot be seen are the things that have to be searched for. Anything they don't want you to see, you got to go search for it on your own time. You feel me? So from that perspective, you know that they co-opted the word so that people will be turned away from the word, right? And from that perspective, like now you know. It's all the way down to terms, anything as far as influence goes. But you're gonna sit here and try to tell me a nigga who got a song called High Power on Section 80, talking about raising the frequencies of consciousness in less words or not. You feel me? Niggas rapping with Ab Soul. You know how much I learned from Ab Soul? You know how much I learned from Ab-Soul, bro? I learned a lot from Ab-Soul on Control System. You feel me? True or not, I learned a lot of new things. And that's what, you know, you telling me that the same people who would go stop a word and co-opt a word so that people can't discover are happy that a nigga who is preaching responsibility, accountability, you feel me? Taking care of your situation, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, you feel me? Empathy, compassion. You feel me? A nigga that rap about felons like they people. They want you, they don't want you to rap, they want you to hear that? Somebody, it don't make no fucking sense. It don't make no fucking sense. It only makes sense to niggas who think who don't think white supremacy exists or don't understand white supremacy. Those are the only niggas that make sense to. The fuck you talking about? They want a nigga preaching these qualities to the black community, let alone people who are not black. Because this shit ain't just about race either at this point. We've developed it a little further. Class has become a big part of this too. You feel me? But it's still about, at the core, this white supremacy shit is still their shit. These niggas will switch. These niggas will switch ideologies if that's what they got to do. If they can maintain, they'll keep. If they can maintain through white supremacy, they'll switch their whole shit to get that shit right. I'm telling you. Except denouncing white supremacy. You feel me? So let's keep going.
Well, when it comes to a person of color, just look around to what happens everywhere that you go on the planet when it comes to a person of color. And ask, why is it that if you're in Venezuela, if you're in Brazil, except maybe for a few minutes in Mardi Gras time, if you are in Ethiopia, if you are a person of color in Ohio, in New York City, in Ontario, why is it that when white people look at you, they see something different than they see when they look at a white person? And that they act on that difference, and that difference is usually directly, indirectly, to your detriment. Why is it that you have what you call black neighborhoods, black communities, black churches?
Bro, this shit used to have me so fucked up. It used to have me so fucked up when I first realized this. Because I'm like, damn, it's in the smallest shit. It's in the smallest shit. That's how you condition people. You condition them consciously and subconsciously. It's a constant attack at all times. And you have to be aware. Hey, shout out Lou Rose. I appreciate you for the... That's love. That's love for real. Appreciate you. Real talk. Thank you. But yeah, like, this shit is in the crevices of things. Like, in the crevices. You feel me? So, you got to really be on guard with shit. You see what I'm saying? And be willing to sometimes play by the same rules. That's the only way. Sometimes you got to know where you can play by the same rules without sacrificing your integrity. You feel me? And you see, in war, that's got to happen. But what happens here is, in white supremacy, a lot of the ideology is based on the lack of empathy, the lack of compassion, the lack of seeing people as people. So it can be confused in navigating that, but that's the reality. White supremacy is a global phenomenon religion. Absolutely. You feel me? So from that perspective, it's something that I can't hear certain shit. Certain shit I hear and I know it don't make no fucking sense. Certain shit I hear and I know it just don't make no sense. And it's the crazy thing. You know what? Dilly Fuller will probably get to what I'm about to say right now. So let's get to this.
Black church. Just that. Something we've gotten used to. That's what we call them. We don't even call them Christian churches. We call them black churches and white churches. Why is that? There's got to be a reason for that. So I'm saying everywhere you go, color is the dominant feature in anything. The color of a person's skin. That's dominant. That takes precedent over everything. There's nothing.
Right there. So if that's what you're telling me, right? What does that tell you about these narratives that these niggas trying to push? That it don't make no fucking sense. Impossible. Impossible. Now, what they're going to do is make it seem like that's what's happening. So when they're throwing smear campaigns at this nigga, and God forbid anything else, then the narrative of him being somebody who was going against or revolting to protect the art form, it doesn't add or amplify the attacks. For example, you see it already. They done tried to say he was a wife beater, right? And niggas think that was just some battle rap shit. I have a theory on that. I have a theory that battle was actually set up in order to get, hey, we'll talk about it a different time. But I do know for sure that Drake and the whole situation had set them, they thought they set that battle up for Kendrick to lose in front of everybody. In front of everybody. I want you to sit and imagine the optics of that. The optics of a nigga who disrespect Tupac by using his AI voice, winning that battle. Winning that battle against Kendrick. What does that look like? What does this shit look like? We at the end, the industry is crumbling. Drake winning that battle? Think about the future from that point. Niggas don't understand that this music shit is the highest vibration. It's the highest vibration. It's the reason why they do their best to control it. Okay? What we putting in the music changes the community over time. 5 years of that bullshit is going to create 5 years of that bullshit. Because 5% are woke. Like they said, right? 5% is aware. A lot of people haven't broken out of that bubble yet. And even when you break out the bubble, it's another bubble. And it's another bubble and another one and another one. You feel me? So it's like from that perspective, I got a lot of ideas about what was supposed to happen with that battle. It just didn't happen that way. And now the nigga that won the battle got all the money coming his way. So now you gotta ride the train. You just don't know how long that train gonna go. You feel me? But that don't mean all of a sudden, all of a sudden Kendrick Lamar is just, you feel me, above and beyond. No, he's still a nigga. He's still a nigga. He can do 50 Super Bowls. He's still a nigga. Oh, an actual nigga. That nigga can do 15 Super Bowls. You feel me? So from that perspective, we got to understand. Shout out Lou Rose again. I appreciate you for real. But we got to understand, bro, just because, and that's another thing in white supremacy too. You got the token black. Well, they think because a couple niggas is doing great, that mean the community in the same position. Nah. What Kendrick can do with his power right now is change the way we view the music. Change the way that people expect music. People don't, and I got a video I'm gonna drop as soon as I do this live where I break this down, but I'll give you all a little, you feel me? Like music protecting the art form is some of the most revolutionary shit you can do. That's why I got so much love for what Pusha T did. Now, of course, the features go do great for Pusha T, so that's added too. But nigga, to say nah, I'm good and go get with a different label, I respect that by Pusha. You protecting the art form. And when you protect the art form, you protect the possibility of more artists coming up talking about shit that really matter. And not to mean that the twerking shit got to go. Twerking is a part of the history too. They just perverted it. But if we're looking at it from the perspective of new musicians or even the biggest musicians in the world, they got to really say something. They got to really care about the art form for people to give a fuck. We talking about a completely different planet. We're talking about a different planet because hip-hop is that powerful. If hip-hop is kicking that real shit, the planet gonna start looking at shit a different way because hip-hop is like that. That's why they gotta control it because hip-hop is really that, bro. Hip-hop can change this whole shit. Let us get 4 years straight of motherfuckers caring about what people hear before the money. Of motherfuckers caring about their message. You'll see a completely different planet. Because the same way you program motherfuckers with negative shit, you can program motherfuckers with positive shit. While keeping it real. The killing is still real. The booty shaking is still real. The violence is still real because we're a product of America. We're a product of what this country is. So it's still real. But that's not all it is. And there's consequences too. These niggas don't be talking about the consequences. They just glorify it and keep glorifying it. No consequence talk though. You feel me? Let me get to Zone Fanfic. What's good, bro? Shout out to you, Jalopy. Love the vids. I recommend checking out a video by Chase Hughes that released 4 months ago called titled, Once You Know This, Every Side Becomes Obvious. Ooh, I'm definitely about to watch that. That sound fire. I'm definitely about to watch that. Appreciate you, bro. Hey, I'm gonna check that out for sure. We might, you know what? I can't. I'm not gonna be on for a whole lot longer. I'm gonna be on for a while, but not too long. So we could probably watch that. We could watch that together, type shit. But yeah, facts. I'm gonna check that out because I definitely be trying to catch shit. When it comes to this hip hop, I'll be practicing. Like, okay, based on what I know, boom, 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 boom. And if that's the case, that should be true. And if it is true, that means my ability to dissect propaganda in media is gonna be good when shit get real. You feel me? It be practice. And I understand this shit bigger. These are black leaders. You feel me? These are, however you feel about their art, these are black leaders. Kendrick Lamar is a black leader. You feel me? They want to minimize what hip hop means, what a rapper means, so they can turn people off to the message. These niggas are scared of hip hop, but they need it. They need certain shit, so they keep it there and just profit off it. But if it was up to them, it wouldn't exist. If it was up to them, it wouldn't exist. But let's get to it.
It comes before that. Nobody's religion comes before that. First thing is, what color is that person coming down the road? What is the color classification? If you look at the census in the Northwestern Hemisphere, the census is all about what? A thing called race. Let's get that straight before we start talking about money or anything else. What race do you belong to? And then they have the races, what's so-called races, RACES, based on what? What color somebody is, all right? Now, I understand they're doing a little modification now, a little juggling and whatnot, and they're coming up with something called the German race and the Irish race, but really, in the system of white supremacy, it's just one race, and that is the white race. There's no such thing as another race of people anywhere in the known universe. Mm-hmm. According to what? According to logic. So that's why I say that's the dominant government, it actually cancels out all other governments. There's no such thing as, you know, a communist government other than the government of white supremacy, a socialist government other than the government of white supremacy, a capitalist government other than the government of white supremacy, a Christian government, Muslim government, Confucian government, Hindu government. No, color is more powerful than all of those so-called governments put together. What?
Listen, talk. Oh, y'all talking about some science? All right, okay. Yeah, shit getting real out here. It's definitely getting real out here. It's getting, man, I feel like we not even at the, bro, I'm telling you, bro. Hindsight is everything. You feel me? Hindsight is everything. But people gonna look back at this time and realize how important this time was. I'm telling you. So let's get back to what Neely was saying, right? He basically saying, nigga, it could be Christianity, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to believe, okay? None of that shit is stronger than white supremacy. None of that shit is stronger than white supremacy. None of it. If we talking about not on the spiritual plane, we not talking about on the spiritual plane or nothing like that. We talking about in this physical reality that you can touch. The white supremacy is more powerful than any faction because everybody follows it, whether you know it consciously or subconsciously. You feel me? Think about it like this. Let me just a real quick example, right? Think about it like this. As a kid growing up, a lot of people got into, a lot of people saw Jesus as white Jesus. I remember being like I remember being a kid because now, I remember being a kid and being so intuitive, right? And something feeling off about that. But I just always described it to, it's because he don't look like me. But that, as a black Christian, that psychologically does damage. It becomes programming. Now this person that you're worshiping is a white man. You don't look like this white man. And when you go outside, now you're playing by those rules. If I'm telling you, you got to follow God at all and boom, boom, and I'm preaching all this God shit to you, but every time you look at that nigga, he's a white man, you going to go outside and subconsciously see the world in that way. You feel me? And it's so small. It's such a small thing. But listening to Tupac is what woke me up out of that. My mom, from listening to Tupac, is what woke her up out of that. You see what I'm saying? And these niggas gonna try to play with you and say and act like hip hop is just a genre. Nigga, where? I've learned more for hip hop than I learned in school. Real talk. Hip hop discoveries have leaned me into more beneficial things than school did. Facts. And that's from listening to all different types of artists. You feel me? So they know they can't control the game when shit hit the fan. That nigga Kendrick knew. He knew. Kendrick knew because he knew what he was about to do. And we're going to get into that later. Now we can really talk about it. You feel me? The can of worms is open. But it's like we got to remember, as long as we pay attention to everything that's going down, white supremacy is at the root of all this shit. You feel me? Exactly. I'm carrying various hearts right now. I desert this bitch like tiramisu. You need to listen to his lyrics and not just hear them. He's been telling us throughout all these songs from the beginning. And that's exactly what I tweeted earlier. I was like, this nigga been telling y'all he was about to backdoor this shit since 2010. High powered. Kendrick is a nigga that learned from the people who came before him and traced his steps. That's what I'm saying. Niggas be thinking, oh, I just be talking about Kendrick because he make incredible music. It's deeper than that, nigga. It's deeper than that, but they don't want you to talk about it like that. Because if you talk about it like that, you talk about hip-hop like that, and you empower everybody to listen to hip-hop. The reason why Not Like This is so big is because it reminded you. It reminded you, wait, this our shit for real. That's that feeling you get in your chest when that song come on. When you at the function, when you at the concert, and you can walk up to a nigga you don't even know, and y'all connect over this song. You feel me? The dance moves that naturally come out of your body when you hear this song in the vicinity of other niggas that look like you. Nigga, that's not just a fucking song, nigga. We talking about spiritual warfare here. It's way deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. That's a We Beat the Colonizer song. Why you think all over the world they singing it? Because it's the same language. If I could get you to believe that white people are supreme and fall under that alignment, under that agreement, somebody else can get you to realize the same thing going against that ideology. Because they both human. And that's the part niggas forget. You feel me? And from that perspective, you got to peep game. You feel me? You got to peep. Exactly. No, Key ain't building no community. Ain't nothing to grab onto into that song. Exactly. We in the age of Aquarius. It's all about community now. It's all about community now. Look everywhere. Look everywhere right now. That's not a mistake. That's the frequency of the world going in that direction. We're going back to community. We've been in individualism for so long. That's why you're seeing so many arguments, so many debates, because some people are still stuck in that timeline. They still stuck in that timeline of everything is just individual. But the people that peep in game and can hear and can feel the frequency of what's going on, community is coming back. You feel me? So niggas, including our government, including the rest of the world, got to play by those rules until they figure out a way to loophole the rules. You feel me? But that's just how I feel. But let's get back to this what's it called? To this video.
Color somebody is more powerful. That's the first order of business. They say, oh yeah, well, you're talking about.
They're using social media to spread narratives too, using accounts with lots of followers to brainwash the masses. People appreciate those opinions more than actual rappers now. Listen, bro. Appreciate you for the super chat too. Listen, bro. You kicking facts because niggas think just because a nigga on Twitter, he a regular nigga. Bro, a lot of niggas is not regular niggas. These motherfuckers you see on this Twitter shit, they ain't regular niggas waking up in the comfort of their own home, putting shit together. These niggas is taking orders from niggas. These niggas, all types of shit. Put this out, boom, boom, boom. And to an extent, that's cool. But when you putting that shit out there in order to control narratives, we think about it like this. I'm about to watch. Think about it like this. I'm about to break this shit all the way down, right? Think about the election that just happened, right? Remember when I said that they will switch their ideology in order to maintain supremacy? Before, right? Let's go back to the 90s. Just because you ain't have content creators. So you ain't have some independent ideas coming out, boom, boom. You had the media, and they dominated the way journalism did their job. Now, it wasn't as central as it is now, as it was in the 90s, right? And I know that because I can go back and watch some powerful interviews about powerful shit from back then, right? But they used to use the media like CNN, Fox, and all that, right? When it came to this election, why did Trump, if we just talking about, let's forget the circus that these niggas running and just pretend all this shit is, you feel me? Donald Trump wins the election. How? Was it the news? Or was it content creators? Aiden Ross. Who else? All them other niggas that was fucking with Trump during that time. You feel me? Or was it the content creators? You feel me? It was the content creators. What they realized, right, during that election, and I remember because I was making videos during that election too, talking about a lot of shit, and they was going viral, right? I had it to where like Democratic parties are picking my shit up or put both sides, right? Because it's in the middle. I think they recognized that content creators on social media have more power than the niggas on CNN, Fox now, right? Because these niggas, even if you look at sports, they getting all their content from Twitter niggas. So because of this, they realize, oh, we got to flip the page. We're going to abandon CNN and all them niggas, right? We're going to keep that to an extent for older people. But for the next generation, for the millennials, for the Gen Zs, oh yeah, we're going to control the social media shit. At one point, all you saw was on social media. They did that TikTok ban. You don't see it no more. I bet you before that TikTok ban, I would have heard a whole lot about him. I bet you I would have. But no, they playing a different game. When you look at these niggas like Kanye and Drake moving over there, these niggas gearing up for the next election. And I'm telling you, anybody that go over there on that side, they got some shit on them niggas, and they hey, get your ass over here and get your ass over here and stream with these niggas. Get your ass over here and you feel me? So when this election come by, and you better be popping that shit when we run again. That's exactly what's going on. And all of this falls under white supremacy. All of it. That's what I'm saying. So when we understand this shit, we peep all that other shit. You feel me? Shout out to sheesh. Shout out to Lou Rose again. Hold on, let me pull the comment up. Shout out to Lou Rose again. I'm so ass with this goddamn. All I gotta do is go to Star. I'm a head ass. All right, boom. The moon is in the 7th house. That's crazy. That's crazy. And thank you for the super chat once again. Thank you for the super chat once again. But I ain't gonna lie. I got a theory that these niggas be aware of the stars too, and they be moving accordingly. We'll do that a different conversation. You feel me? But these niggas, they know. You feel me? These niggas will defame something and then use it. That's another thing niggas gotta understand. These niggas will defame something and then turn around and use it for benefit. It's crazy. Let's keep it pushing.
Money, and you're talking about this, you're talking about capitalism, you're talking about Wall Street, you're talking about starvation in Bangladesh and whatnot. Wait a minute before we even get to that. What color are the people? What color are the people that you're talking about? Before we go any further, let's get that straight. We want to know what color the people are. Mm-hmm. What color the people are. We're talking about borders now. You got people coming across borders. Wait a minute. What color are those people coming across the border? Any border. What color are those people out there in the desert? What color are those people up there on the moon? If there's any up there, what color are they? Let's get that straight.
Yep. And Stephanie, you're cooking right now. So remember they took down Kendrick's performance speaking on this very thing off of YouTube. They did it 2016 at the BET Awards. Listen, bruh. These guys are playing at a level that a lot of us won't be able to comprehend because they know the game. They got, the information's been passed down. You see what I'm saying? And from that perspective, when you see the way they try to big up, create a new narrative about Kendrick Lamar, like this nigga hasn't been constantly attacked. Bro, if you was there, Kendrick been getting criticism forever. Every time he come outside. Every time he come outside, they got criticism for him. You feel me? And they even did the whole the Fox News was coming after him. CNN was coming after him. You feel me? They took his performances down. Like, that's what people don't understand. You feel me? Kendrick not playing by the same rules as these niggas because TDE built their shit a little different. And that's what, and at the end of the day, we got to understand, if we look at the history of things, we'll be able to understand that Kendrick is one of these niggas that has been constantly censored. Not by Drake. This is before Drake. This is just media in general. Constantly censored. And now they're trying to build this new narrative that isn't Drake's idea alone, to paint Kendrick as this new industry plant dude who never had no for the next generation, because they know the next generation not going to do their propers. The next generation not going to do the history. So they just going to think, oh yeah, Kendrick came out of nowhere, boom, boom, boom. It pushes you away from the new music, from the old music. But the problem is they didn't expect that nigga to win that battle. They expect him to win the public opinion. And now they got to ride the coattails for a little bit until they figure something out. You feel me? So, yeah, Kendrick been censored. They've been censoring that nigga. And they going to lie. And I want to say one more thing. A lot of people ask me, I'm glad we're getting to this part, because a lot of people ask me, why you keep talking about this shit all the time, thinking I'm just talking about Kendrick because he's my favorite artist. Let's finally talk about it. The reality is Tupac Shakur didn't have content creators. Malcolm X didn't have content creators. So you know what happened? The only things we can go back to and check out the history is the newspaper. The only thing we can go back to and check out the history is the articles ran by motherfuckers who didn't fuck with the Black Panthers when we try to talk about Tupac. So now we got to be people, right, where we could document the shit that's happening in real time. So instead of going and listening to their shit, you can come to my channel 3 years from now and see, oh, that's what really happened. Oh, that's what really happened. You feel me? It's documenting the history just like these niggas do. Except we talking about what really happened. That's it. That's it. So when niggas ask me why you talk about this shit every day, because I know where this shit about to go. And it's got to be documented. The real shit got to be documented. So that when niggas turn around and look at the history, they got multiple perspectives to look at. Since we talking about it now. You feel me? That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. If we document the history right now, you feel me? The most they can do is remove it. But we got it documented. You feel me? It's going to be out there. Somebody got stuff, something in their phone. Somebody got something in the PC. You feel me? And if we document this the steps we supposed to, they won't be able to spin the narratives when niggas try to attempt a smear campaign or, God forbid, something else, and then try to spin it like they did the rest of these leaders. You feel me? We got to take advantage of the knowledge. Do what these niggas do it and then try to get you to not do it. You can play the same game these niggas play, but put the spin on it for the betterment of people instead of the dominance of people. We got to document our own history. Exactly. You feel me? We got to document our own history. Real talk, because they not going to do it. And if they do it, they going to put their spin on it. But you can't understand our history, how we felt when it dropped, and all that. Because you don't feel what we feel. That's why you created this ideology in the first place. You feel me? But let's keep going.
First, then we'll talk about the other stuff. Because the other stuff don't matter no way. Mm-hmm. It's what color they are that matters. We're caring about these two-bit religions. All of them don't matter. Color comes first.
Color comes first.
They are supreme. I didn't say better. Supreme just means, hey, they can tell you what to do and you can't tell them.
Exactly. He said they're supreme. That doesn't mean they're better. That just means they can tell you what to do and you can't tell them what to do. So as long The day that Kendrick Lamar can censor Drake, I hear y'all. He the most powerful nigga. He broke the barriers, boom, boom, all that. But since Kendrick can't censor Drake, you lost me. You lost me. It don't make no fucking sense. Psyop. And it's not just Drake. Motherfuckers is, listen, ages out this motherfucker. It's a big game.
Makes them supreme. That's what white supremacy means. They can tell you what to do, but you can't tell them. You can't make them do nothing. And they'll challenge you if they, of course, we usually don't challenge them. We'll stand there when we're mad and say we demand, but that's not really what we mean. We really mean we're asking in a loud voice, because we can't demand nothing. Because see what when it comes right down to it, when they back up and say, okay, you say you're demanding, you're gonna make me do what you want me to do? All right, do it. Say, come on now. Say, now you do this among your own people, you get away with it, but you're dealing with a master now. Make me. All this stuff you're talking about that you got to have, make me. You're intelligent. You said that you are. You said your people are this and that, and you come from a long line of this. Make me. None of us have proven that we can meet that yet. None of us.
Yet is so key. Yet is key. Now, everything he said, that can be easily discouraging when you really think about the situation. But when you also, and that's why I said we got to get our minds right too, right? Because a lot of our community is mentally, right? Systemically, you can be stuck in a victim position systemically if you don't break out of that system. And there's ways to do it, you feel me? But mentally, you can be in prison too, right? To where, and that's the part we got to do first, is break through the mental barriers. The money and all that, that'll come with the breaking through the mental barriers. It's automatic. But their goal is to minimize you and crush you, right? So that you don't believe. But once you break through that and you start to realize, wait, the same way these niggas put me in this position, we can create a new position, even if you can't see it, even if you don't understand it. It's the thought first. It's the thought first. That's how the world works. The way they got this system, the world didn't start like this. The way they got this system to work, they thought about it. They thought about it long enough, and they took action. They worked on it. You feel me? We got to change our minds first. And the best way for us to do that is through the music, because we all listen to the music. And from the music, and you get the content, and through the content, you get the teachings, hopefully in school at some point, and then boom, boom, boom. It's a domino effect, but it starts with breaking through the ideology that there's nothing that can be done. And that's why I'm saying every time we have this opportunity to maybe get a flip, it's to put the pressure on. That's why it's amazing that Pusha T coming out and dropping. I know the type of album he about to drop during this time, because we spinning it back. That real hip hop, we spinning it back this way. They try to jazz us. They try to country us. They try to rock and roll us with this shit. But we took it back. You feel me? Now, it might not be in the perfect position to where everybody can say whatever they want to say and boom, boom, boom. We might not have got fully there yet, but it's a start. It's a start, right? To say whatever you want to say, or in a way, or where we can express that and put these ideologies into kids' minds, to be responsible, to be accountable, to take your money serious, all that different shit. It could possibly blossom into something where 10 years from now, a nigga at the top of the game is now rapping about the system in general needs to change. Capitalism needs to switch to something. Like, that's how you get the ball rolling. You feel me? And we have to be able to document. And that's why I appreciate what Kendrick's doing with the Super Bowl and all that. If they try to rewrite the history, it's going to be tough. It can start with just, oh, Drake really won the battle. It starts there, right? But when you got the pop-out situation, the stadium tours, the Super Bowls documented. You feel me? It's crazy. If Kendrick get caught up with some bullshit, it might be a war. You kind of crossed over to a I think I hate to even put the energy out there, but in reality, we got to be honest. It's not like it's impossible for something like that to take place, right? Because this is the reality. But we might be in a different timeline. That's how I be feeling lately. Like we might be in a different timeline. But then I think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we could be in a different timeline here. There could be different results. You see what I'm saying? Especially because I don't think a nigga in the hip hop game has ever been in this position where everybody got to follow him for the money. I don't know about when did we? I don't know. And that nigga saying certain shit in songs and nigga talk about past life progression and shit. Like, bro. But we gonna see. We might be in a different timeline. We'll be able to see if we're in a different timeline based on how it affects the general populace. For example, let's say Kendrick get up there and drop another album is great, but we don't see a difference in the general populace, then we probably didn't make no progress, right? Because you judge the progress based on the general populace, not by the few who are doing great. So and we already seeing it with content creators. You know what I mean? The way hip hop content creators is going down. I heard Screwface say back in the day before the battle it was racist. There we go. We starting right there. You feel me? So I'm saying from that perspective, it could be a different timeline. We're gonna see. Tapped into the Akashic records. I'm saying. Kendrick is on some different shit. See, Kendrick's style is Negro spiritual style, where on the surface level, it sounds like something like, think about this. I was going to make a video on this. I'm going to break it in. With people, I have a video called Why Do Black People Protect Hip Hop So Much, right? And what we might not know subconsciously is everywhere we go, we communicate in code. Niggas might not even know why. When you walking down the street and you see a white man, you're not going to get the same gesture you see, from a black man, right? Or a black woman or whatever, right? It's going to be a different gesture. We talk to each other a certain way that only we understand. White supremacy has an obsession with understanding that. If you watch the Sinners movie, you feel me? You see what I'm saying? They have a different perception of that, right? And they want to know. They're obsessed with wanting to know, right? In slavery, we used to sing Negro spirituals, right? But sometimes those Negro spirituals were used to talk to each other in code. Hip hop is the same fucking thing. Hip hop at its best is the same fucking thing. It's a reason why a whole bunch of people can hear certain songs by Kendrick Lamar, right? And hear one thing, but then you talk to somebody else and they bring up all this other shit. It's because he's writing his music in that same way. You see what I'm saying? In that same way, in that Negro spiritual aspect, to where on the surface it sounds like one thing, but to those who hear, it sounds like another thing. You feel me? And that's pretty much. They even did this thing where they co-opted, just like they do with anything else, with the word woke. They co-opted. If you say that listening to Kendrick Lamar is on two different planes, where you listen on one side and you hear something else, and they try to talk you down. Oh, Kendrick fans be saying you need a different level of consciousness. That's the same shit they did with the woke shit. A random ass dude on Twitter ain't just think that up. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you. It's crazy. I'm trying to tell you.
In all these years, some of us have talked pretty loud, and we can do a job on each other like you wouldn't believe. But when Master Man says, make me, we melt. And the evidence shows it. Now, is that supposed to make us feel real bad and crawl under a rock and all like that? No, that's what makes us crawl. Mm-hmm. Why? According to logic. To admit that you're a prisoner of war is strength.
This is why, listen, this is why I love Neely Fuller, right? Because he breaks shit down in a way that's so logical and so to the point by using the same system that they use to break us down, because that's the language that we all get. To use that to say, to acknowledge that you are a prisoner of war is strength. It reminds you, right, that that's where we are. That's where we are if we being real. No matter how you believe it, whether we the aboriginals or they brought us on a boat or if it's a mix of us. Regardless, you're a prisoner of war. Regardless. They just found ways to kind of squeeze you in and get you comfortable. But that don't mean, you feel me? So, exactly. They always colonize the vocabulary in order to control us. They stole woke and turned it into something negative. Karen, they turned into something laughable. Now, yeah, we still use Karen, but it's, you feel me? It's not as powerful as, it's crazy. He said racism is stupid. That's why anti-intellectualism is the tool of racists. Facts. There's rarely any logic in the ideology of white supremacy outside of the logic used to dominate. The ideology itself doesn't really have there's no logic in it. That's why you use logic to point out the flaws. You feel me? Like, come on. Come on, bro. You see what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is this. Somebody will clip this part of the video, post it on Twitter, and say, niggas is tin hats. But that's what they're supposed to do. That's what white supremacy is. The best thing you can do is you know what I'm saying? The best thing you can do is just roll through it and keep sharing the information anyway. You feel me?
What you are. That's the first step toward not being a prisoner. Realize that you are one. But see, black males in particular, we like to flex our muscles. Boy, do we ever like to act like we are really men. And we will slaughter each other on 8th Street out there any day in the week to prove it. We ain't nowhere close. Because when the real man comes around, we melt. You see us running across parking lots and hiding under cars. When we were real men, we'd meet him halfway. We'd say, where is it? You ain't saying nothing but the word. Where is it? Point to which way he's coming from. All right? No.
Listen. And I want to say something real quick. I'll be paying attention too, right? Also, I'm telling you, my next few videos are about to be, listen. My next few videos, oh yeah. Because the can of worms is open now. I've been waiting, you feel me? But now from this perspective, right? When you look at a Kendrick Lamar and you see the shit that he talking about, he at the top of the game, right? They don't want that to be the case. And it's easy to understand that because you understand white supremacy. If you understand white supremacy, that'll give you the answer to a lot of shit that might be confusing, especially in media. You see what I'm saying? So he said the veil is lifted. Let's shut out all illusions. So look, when it comes to this bubble of the supremacy that we live in, the same way they created it with the brainwashing or whatever is the same way that it could be unwashed. But it has to come from a source that everybody goes to, and music is where everybody goes to. If Kendrick Lamar is the biggest artist in the industry, which I think another drop, he'll be the biggest artist in the world. You feel me? You could argue. I mean, I don't know. You could argue he's there, but I think he could solidify that with another big drop. Based on how he delivers that project, it changed the entire industry. Everybody got to do shit differently now because the people want to listen to shit differently now. You see what I'm saying? The people want to look at shit differently now. So in order to match that timeline that they created by wanting to look at shit differently now, they accept different music. They accept different content. They accept different. That's just how the world works. Niggas didn't just wake up and all of a sudden everybody want to adhere to degeneracy. That's not how it happened. It was brainwashed into us. You feel me? Over millennia. You feel me? There's times when the shit come back and at times when the shit spin back. I think we had a time where it's coming back. Now, bro said violence. No coincidence they trying to kill the education system. I want you to think about this. When I heard, because I was thinking about this when I heard Not Like Us for the first time. When he got to that third verse, was that not a lesson? Was that not a lesson on colonialism? If they're getting rid of the history in the schools, where are you going to get the history? Hip hop. If they get rid of the history in the schools, where do you get the history from? Hip hop. If they take away the ability to say what you want on these songs, what did they do? They censored the history in hip hop. So while some niggas think there's just some niggas battling, no, niggas is at war. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's been bigger than that. It's been bigger than that. Kendrick know everybody. Kendrick know that he in a position where he can't really say everything he want to say. He got more freedom than other guys, but he's not got complete freedom. Right? But he's still going to be able to hide the message, code the message, so that so the people that are able to hear it can hear it. You feel me? All of a sudden, Kendrick get to the top of the game and he wearing these big ass chains. All of a sudden, Kendrick's starting to put his own spin on materialism. You don't think that nigga playing the game? So not only am I where the money go, but I'm not technically steering too far away from the optics, but I'm still influencing everybody with my words. The world has switched to the optics, so they want to control the optics more than they want to control the words. But listen, so I was saying earlier, sometimes to beat the monster, you gotta play your part. You feel me? Sometimes you gotta play that part, but in playing that part, getting the money and coming off as not a threat, you kicking game and you influencing the world. For however much time they give you, we already seeing the shift based on that battle alone. It really started with the Cat Williams interview. Whatever you believe in that, whatever you don't believe in that, it had people starting to, Soon as niggas start doing, we going somewhere. I don't care how we got there. Niggas start doing, we going somewhere. It don't matter how we got there. All we need is niggas to start saying, That's it. Wherever they go, everybody got a different journey. You might start off as a nigga who fuck with Nation of Islam and get to being a Christian, or you might, however you do it. Soon as a nigga starts saying, they start their path. And however that path look, it's up to them. But it's all going to end up being in the same road. You see what I'm saying? Noah Peppers, shout out, bro. Once again, he said, I wish I could support more. God bless you and your message. Nah, you being here is the support. All this is the extras. You feel me? All this is the extras. You being here is the support, dog. Listen, they not listening. Where are you from? Not where I'm from. We all in, like, what are we talking about? Whether you believe that or not. I personally believe it's a combination. I personally believe some niggas came from the ship, some niggas was here. And they combined us all together, and that's how they made us get lost. That's how, when I think about how white supremacy works, that's the first thing I think of. If as a person who dissects white supremacy, you can start to have an understanding of how they like to move. Even if you don't understand it fully, I think it makes most sense that niggas was already here, niggas got brought here, they mixed this up to confuse everybody. That's how I feel. Now all you guys this. You don't know where you belong, boom, boom, boom. It's just some niggas that really from Africa, some niggas that was really here mixed up. And then we having these old tribal wars that spread across the spirit realm. You feel me? Like that we wasn't there for, but the war still exists type shit. That's how I feel, but who knows? But yeah, when we talk about the Cat Williams interview, shout out bro James, he said, haven't you noticed only black men were taken down? That is true. That's interesting. You feel me? And this is my thing. The white supremacy is just like the cops. The cops is on a smarter level. They gonna protect each other. You feel what I'm saying? It's the same thing with white supremacy. And when we look at it from that perspective, that brings me back. It brings me back, right? To the fact that you can never tell me that a black man who got a message is being used to destroy a white man who is pushing degeneracy. You got it. You're fucking cooked, nigga. You're fucking cooked. And I know Drake had black. You feel me? That's the reason why he don't understand yet that nigga's still a nigga. He don't get it yet, but he got a different part of his lineage that get him a little higher than other half niggas. You feel me? But I think they gonna remind that nigga sooner or later. Like, hey, look, hey, we fuck with you, but nigga, not enough to give you a hug. We fuck with you enough to control this sector of niggas. We'll push you to the top. We fuck with you enough to control this sector of niggas. If you can control the hip hop sector of niggas, we got you. The second he lost that power, the second they done with that nigga. But they still not gonna fucking pick Kendrick over that nigga. That's the part niggas be forgetting. His war with them niggas is like when you punch your cousin in the face. Yeah, y'all gonna box it out, but if another nigga pull up, y'all gonna jump that nigga. That's what this is. Drake's situation with them niggas, that don't mean Kendrick in a position of power like Drake might be in a position of power as far as his lineage go. Kendrick got a timer. Kendrick's on a timer. That's the harsh reality. I'm not saying the time before they do something. I'm just saying Kendrick is on a timer. As long as he got this shit under his thumb, he good. You feel me? But he step out of line too far, or he start, you feel me? Or he start, you feel me? Then it's a different conversation. Now, the move he can make is kind of exiting out into a different avenue at the top of his game. That's genius. You feel me? Because then he can extend the, you feel me? But we just got to remember, Kendrick Lamar is a nigga. Kendrick Lamar is a nigga. I don't care how many Grammys this nigga win. That nigga can win 10 Grammys. That nigga can win 10 Grammys. 26 Grammys. They not picking that nigga. They only fucking with him right now because he did something they didn't think he was going to do, and now they got to follow the money. But let that money start to dry up, or let him start saying some shit, or let the influence get too much where niggas, and listen, I think we getting to that point. But do not let this shit, do not let these niggas trick you. Do not let these niggas trick you. Okay? Do not let these niggas trick you. I swear to God. But now we about to wrap this up soon, but we're gonna go over this Clips article. All right. Now that we watched this video and we have a better understanding, which it seems like most y'all shit, the motherfuckers commenting pretty we y'all on game. But when we look at this clip situation, we'll be able to look into the story and see where it shows up just to prove what we're talking about. Okay? So let's pull this shit up right here. So boom. Okay? You got clips, right? Let's go over what took place. So Clips taught love, hate, and what rat's been missing. After more than and this is my first time reading the article, but I know I've seen some small things of the article, so I know where this is going. It's gray, rainy, and much cloudier than it should be. Let me put the words up so y'all can see better. It's gray, rainy, and much cloudier. Blah blah blah. But that stormy mood extends to their overall opinion about the rap game large right now. The particulars of the casual conversation we're having are off the record, but the overall sentiment is one they'll formally reiterate to me later. They are not impressed. I'm a passive listener to things that are going on right now. You got to grab me, man. Now listen, motherfuckers might think, oh, he just in there talking that shit. No, they're reprogramming. They're doing the same shit these niggas do. They're flipping it. They're trying to do their own reprogramming by taking advantage of this moment and spinning this shit back in this direction. Okay? You're seeing them do the same thing by galvanizing the public opinion. And that's exactly what they're doing. And this is one of the reasons this article came out when it came out. Mainstream rap music has been something of a desert lately, I can see, and Pusha agrees. Before implicitly throwing a rhetorical question back to me, why is that? He has no answer to share himself, maybe because for him and his older brother, the whys don't matter. At this particular moment, the lane is wide open for one of the genre's most beloved groups to deliver a reunion 16 years in the making and raise the standard as they've always done. If the standard is raised, the minds are changed and the minds have to accept different things. You see what I'm saying? So boom. After years of dancing around the idea, loosely clipped tracks here and there sprinkled across the past 5 years, once you delivered and once you've done your part, you get to see how things fall in place. A lot of the times they'll fall in place better than you could have planned. Now, with the release of a disgusting first official single and Ace Trumpets, the self-proclaimed pioneers of cult rap are ready to roll out the white carpet, explain their delays and their recommitment to each other, and above all else, reaffirm why they are not to be doubted. Now, a lot of people are going to say this. How are you going to talk all this shit about the forward advancement of the black community and boom, boom, and all this different shit and support Pusha T when he pushed quote coke rap? I got an easy answer for you, right? That's because we are a reflection of America. So while we do attempt to make progress with the raps and boom, boom, boom in these ways, some people, their identity has been crafted so much by these environments that have been created by white supremacy that it's stuck with them. However, they are using this reflection of the world of America, right? Throwing it in your face by telling you the reality of what's going on, right? And then in the same moment, bringing up the consciousness or the awareness of one thing or another thing. Meaning, even if Pusha T ain't talking about raising consciousness and shit like that, if he's raising the bar of what people expect, we are moving another step closer to raising the consciousness. Because through raising what people respect, through people rapping better, people have to do the research on the niggas who rap well, and a lot of the niggas that rap well had a message. It's all a train. It's all a train. And everybody has to play their part, including the niggas that rap about coke. That is a reflection of America. You don't want us to rap about the shit that you gave us? You don't want us to rap about the shit that our people suffered in? Now, you can talk about, oh, a nigga might be glorifying it too much and that inspired people to boom, boom, boom. Once again, that is just the reality of where we are. And some niggas is doing that, some niggas is not. We good. If they can coexist, we good. If they can coexist, we good. Somebody got to talk to the streets. Somebody got to talk to the streets. Somebody got to be able to influence the streets. If I listen to Pusha T and I don't really rock with Kendrick Lamar get on here and go crazy, and I like Pusha T for the coke rap, but I go listen to Pimp a Butterfly, or I go listen to Section 80, the train got rolling. We all gotta be a part of that. Everybody gotta be a part of that. You see what I'm saying? So then we get to I'm trying to find where they start talking about that Drake shit. Might be a different article. Pusha and Malice are eager to talk, but first and foremost, they're eager to eat. Blah blah blah. Yeah, we don't care about what these niggas eating. I ain't gonna lie. A standout offering among the new Clips music features him rhyming with Arnie. Right, upgrading the bars, upgrading the way niggas rhyme. Once again, getting back to that moment. Kendrick Lamar getting on this album is going to take Pusha T to push the album to another level. You see what I'm saying? The Kendrick feature is crazy right now. You feel me? Meeting, raising, exceeding the standards always been Clips raison d'etre, whatever that means, at least as far back as their sophomore album, Hell Hath No Fury. A Neptune score cult rap Fantasia adored by white hipster critics, Soho cool kids, those who can actually relate to pushing out subject matter, and everyone in between. 2 decades removed from that classic, the Thornton brothers acknowledge that legacy and past accomplishments are cool, but insist they wouldn't have come back together if their content was with chasing old highs. The pursuit of greatness is never ending. If every new thing you create doesn't reinforce your place in the conversation amongst the best to ever do it, why bother? Real talk. If we get back into making sure everybody trying to be the best, niggas gonna be working on their shit. I feel like I had seen the engine give out on rap. Right. Besides my brother and a couple others, I feel like it's in the same place it was when I left. Pusha cites the why Grizel rappers who appear as a favorite and agrees. Right. I feel the same way. I feel like hip hop got to a point where people were accepting so much mediocre shit. You see what I'm saying? Like niggas was just using it to make bread for real. Pusha cites the Willie Griselda rapper Stove God Cooks, who appears on the album as a favorite, and agrees with his brother that Future is always on time. But asks there anything else around him that's exciting him, he responds with a hilariously emphatic no. We've never given mediocre. I hear so much music and it's just like an assembly line, and it works. They sell it and people eat it up. But it's an art that I always find that's missing, and I feel like we always give that. We always have delivered that. Art has been a less of a thing in a lot of places. In a lot of places, art has been devalued. In a lot of places, not even just hip hop. All the shit they doing, when Kendrick go do the shit, you bringing back the intentionality in theater. You see what I'm saying? You bringing back intentionality in a lot of shit. And eventually we get a world where all art is being taken seriously and they trying. It don't just start with hip hop. They try to devalue art in general. Black art specifically, but art in general. And when art is devalued, the world is devalued. The world just becomes a gray rock. It just becomes a gray rock. The earth is no longer, or America is no longer, or the earth in general is no longer green, blue, and all these different shades of colors and different people from different communities. Now it's just a gray rock. You see what I'm saying? And that's really what it's about. If we can get art back to the forefront, people are taking art seriously worldwide. There you go. Do you feel me? So let's get right to this shit where he talking about this shit. Pusha, you know the rest. Pusha, but it turned Miley opted. Let's see. But by the turn of the next decade, Malice opted to end their family affair, at least on wax. The Thorns maintained that in real life, their brotherhood continued unwaveringly. But musically, Malice was burnt out. Respectable. You know the rest. Pusha soldiered on solo at the time. Kanye West's good music crew became ascendant. Right. We know this. I don't want to bring him into the foolishness. Right. Okay, I might be looking at the wrong article. I'm looking at the right article? Yeah, I'm looking at the right article, I think. Yeah, we all know all this shit. We know all this shit. I'm trying to find the shit that sparked the conversation today. Here we go. Right here. So boom. Now let's use what we figured out about this white supremacy shit, and y'all tell me where we can spot it in all this shit right here. Right? So boom. So boom, you got, if you expected the album last summer, the brothers sympathized. So did they, right? Pusha says they felt confident, proud, and assured of themselves when they presented the music to Def Jam. The label loved what they heard, except for Kendrick Lamar's guest verse on the Thunder Roots, Thunderous Chains and Whips. I need my glasses. The final version of the song that Pharrell teased at the first, right. Don't be fooled by Pusha's interview appealing for one last guest verse and the Twitter jokes that he went on a GNX tour date to physically walk Kendrick into the nearest audit studio. K-Dot's verse has been done for a while. That confirms that the verse that Pusha and them was waiting on wasn't Kendrick's, right? But let's keep reading. As we see here, this album was supposed to come out last year. Why didn't it? After a summer of beef between their two biggest artists that resulted in a still ongoing lawsuit from Drake, Def Jam's parent company, UMG, blanched at the antagonist optics of two of Drake's biggest enemies linking on wax. Pusha calls the apprehension stupid, primarily because none of the bars in Kendrick's otherwise excellent verse could really be perceived as a shot or even subliminal. Now, y'all tell me, how the fuck could you be an industry puppet, right? But you having niggas tell you that they can't put niggas on songs because the nigga who's claiming they're an industry puppet, right, is saying he don't want them on a song. Who is really the fucking industry puppet? And how is it that I'm bringing you way more money, but this nigga can still say that he don't want me on that song? Somebody take a guess. White motherfucking supremacy, nigga. That's why. White supremacy. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's white supremacy. Okay? They are not going to choose Kendrick over Drake. They will argue with Drake and say, hey, bro, like UMG, hey, bro, we're trying to warn you, bro. Please, just relax. Take a second. Chill down. I wonder if they would have gave a nigga those type of cautionary, trying to be cautionary with them niggas. I wonder if UMG would have did that with a nigga. I'm just wondering. You feel me? From that perspective, when you remember, right, that this shit is all about white supremacy, it's coming down. It's coming down to white supremacy. That's what it is. It's white supremacy. Now, the complications of it might be a little different, but all the complications will root back to white supremacy. All of them. All of them. What you want to say? Oh, they're just afraid of what Drake can do with their lawyers, boom, boom. They might be afraid of the access that he has to powerful individuals. They might be, however you want to say it. It always comes back to white supremacy. It always comes back to white supremacy. Always. Okay? And when you sit here and tell me that I can't get this nigga on my song because it might offend this nigga, you're already telling me how you feel either about what he has the potential to do based on his connections or how you feel about us. You see what I'm saying? And Pusha at this time, they're not going to sit there and say, oh, you know what I mean? Like, now it might be different. The system is we'll talk about that a different time. Okay? But the same system is not going to be able to sit there and be like, okay, while we could definitely win the situation, it's going to cost a lot or it's going to be a lot to it because even if we win, we're damaging one of our guys. We're damaging the guy that brings us some money. We can repackage this nigga and figure it out. But if we got to take this nigga down or we got to win this case and it's a lot of different things that come down to it. You feel me? Versus a Kendrick Lamar or a Pusha T. Let's be real. Let's be real. He said the white supremacy argument is a cop-out. You're crazy. You're crazy. If you think the white supremacy is the white supremacy argument is a cop-out, you choosing to be blind. You choosing to be blind. It's right there in your face everywhere you go. It's nothing to really talk about. Plus, it ain't nothing you can say it is that would make it right or make it in the enhancement of. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. It don't work out in Drake's favor no matter how you spin it. You see what I'm saying? So, but after there's summer beef, boom, boom, boom. Therapy, and Kendrick got a line where he talk about therapy taught me how to open up. It also showed me I don't give a fuck. That's real as fuck, by the way. But Pusha can barely contain his disgust, recounting how the stalemate with Def Jam played out. They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse, which of course I was never doing. Okay, so they wanted him to censor Kendrick's verse. And because he didn't want to censor Kendrick's verse, let's keep reading. Then they wanted me to take the record off. Boom. So since Pusha wouldn't censor Kendrick, they wanted to take Kendrick off the song entirely. I wonder. Come on. Are we going to keep doing this? We clearly understand, after watching that video, after understanding white supremacy, what is going on here. Of course, there's a lot to it. Of course, there's a lot to it. But every reason we name is going to trace itself back to the supremacy of whiteness. You see what I'm saying? That's the reality. That's the reality. That doesn't mean that, oh, go out there and hate on white people. Boom, boom. No. That's how I felt when I was young. You feel me? When I was younger, when I was a teenager. But in reality, it don't got to be that. It has got to come down to being able to differentiate, to know that we all human, but also understand our reality, to understand that in the physical, we're not operating on the spiritual all the time, or from a deeper. Sometimes it's just the physical that we exist, that these rules. You feel me? You said you can't go back and forth. Yeah, you're right. But I love opportunity to just break shit down even further. So, boom, he says, then he wanted me to take the record. And so after a month of not doing it, Steve Gawley, the lawyer, was like, we'll just drop the clips. Drop them from the label. Right? Sure enough, Def Jam eventually agreed to release the clips and drop Pusha as a solo artist. So before Pusha would censor Kendrick Lamar's verse, he departed from his fucking record label. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. Now we finna get the uncensored verse. They might fuck around, since everybody know this verse coming. There might be another one that we don't know about. Niggas didn't know Kendrick was gonna be on that Playboy Cardi shit multiple times. That'd be a crazy plot twist. Niggas might have revamped the verse. Said, fuck it. Y'all wanted to censor it? Now I'm really about to turn up. We don't know what's gonna happen when this shit come out. But I know niggas, because I know the type of time niggas on. You try to censor us, we turning the fucking heat up. I know that's the type of energy these niggas on. You try to censor us, we turning the fucking heat up now. You feel me? Sure enough, Def Jam eventually agreed to release the clips and drop Pusha as a solo artist, blah, 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 in their pockets. Ultimately, Pusha says the endeavor was gratifying. It felt good to even see how other labels were buying for the project. Now, as they teased last week with a picture in front of the labels playing, they've ended up at Jay-Z's Rock Nation, where they feel fully supported and energized. I think that the synergy, just in a rap sense, is going to speak volumes. Okay, so if they're now officially doing business with The Rock, and the Kendrick verse was never the feature Pusha kept alluding to holding out for, does this mean we're due for another Pusha and Jay-Z collaboration? I mean, I don't see why not. You feel me? We made history a couple of times. Push says with a coy smirk, referring to the two elusive J features he's nabbed in the past. I feel like being in business is a bigger link up than any verse. Right. Asked if Jay made his patented screw face when he heard the new music. Yeah, but you got that on camera already. Boom, 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 boom. Right. But just from this perspective, we seeing how a nigga like Drake is able to use his allegiance with white supremacy, or whatever you want to call it. I see some people calling it the Jewish state, whatever you want to call it. You feel me? The white supremacy at the end of the day is very, very clear here. You see what I'm saying? You got somebody who they'll get in the backyard and box their cousin, but if Another nigga pull up. That's why Drake is confused. Drake suing these niggas like, what happened to the rules of white supremacy? I'm supposed to be able to sue this nigga, or you tell this nigga to take the song down whenever I want you to, because I played by the rules and I have an allegiance. Why can't I do this to this black man? That don't make no fucking sense. I can't do this to this black man. That's why you want to see that nigga contract. What the fuck is in this contract that I can't censor a black man? That I should be bigger than? Come on. Come on. What are we doing? That's the whole argument for Drake. That's the whole argument for Drake. Okay? And when we look at what's going on, we got to understand this album is one of the most important albums we've had come out in a long time. We had to realize that. We have to realize that. Okay? And when this album come out, it's a statement. It's a statement. This album is a statement, y'all. And I hope people keep following up to keep making multiple statements. That this is our shit. To take it back and have pockets and corners for everybody. We got the people who like to do the inner work or like music that has you reflect. You got Kendrick and niggas over there. You feel me? The people who like the bubbly sound with the, you know what I'm saying, more, I think, suburban topics, but, you know, LGBT community as well in the black partnership. You got tied to the creators of the world. When you got to the hardcore coke rap, boom, 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 you got the Pusha T's of the world. Well, we get these pockets back together. And everybody representing a different pocket of this shit. But the only thing they all got in common is blackness and shared community and experience. One nation type shit. You feel me? So when we get to that point, we talking. And I think this is a statement. A lot of the albums that are about to come out is the statement. You feel me? So I'm interested to see how this shit gonna play out. And we gonna keep documenting this. They want me to stop talking about it. They want me to stop talking about it. Because they know when these fucking Drake when I'm on Twitter, hit these fucking NFL podcasts and all this shit with quote tweets and ratio these niggas. When you hit these Drake fan pages and boom and ratio these niggas with facts, niggas know what's going on. It's a shift out here. They gotta find a way to post me with tinfoil hats under my tweets and shit. They know what they doing. On a small level, on a big scale, on the boom boom boom, you gotta control the narrative. We're gonna keep going. And don't stop there. No, yeah, now that the can of worms is open, we about to start talking about a lot more shit. A lot more shit. The can of worms is open. Pusha T put it out in the open. We know for a fact now. They can't say shit. They can't say shit. So we're going to get to it. You feel me? As a matter of fact, y'all, I got a video called It's a Few Solid Niggas Left, but It's Not Enough. All right? That's my next video. I'm about to drop this shit right now. You feel me? When I get off of here, you feel me? Y'all go check it out. Storm the comments, storm the boom, boom, boom. We about to start turning the fuck up with this content in a different way because the can of worms is open. You see what I'm saying? So we lit. We finna try to contribute to the shift. All right. And this video is really just about the clips, what they doing, breaking down some of the stuff we talked about in here a little more. You feel me? But we finna turn it up. We finna get this shit rolling now. You feel me? The gates are fully open. The gates is open. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that shit uploading right now. I'm gonna be on here for like 5 more minutes. It's probably gonna upload in like 5 minutes. And then, yeah. But look, I want to say thank y'all to everybody that came up, started replying to our comments on your videos. Nah, you right. You right. I got you. You said be careful now. I know. No, listen. We gonna play the line. I've been playing the line this whole time. I've been playing the line this whole time before we got to this. I know how we gonna play the line. You know when it's time to open the doors of the conversation. You feel me? Because the narratives will tell you. You feel me? You got to let the facts come out. The facts will allow you to talk about certain shit. Jalapa, you hit the nail on the head. Drake thinks he's above Kendrick because he's a black man, even though Drake's father is black, which makes him black. He definitely don't identify as black. Nah, you ain't see that interview where that nigga was talking about, I associate myself as a black man. Who the fuck y'all think? Who do y'all think he was talking to? I associate myself as a black man. Who do you think crossed his mind that made him stutter like that and made him make sure he chose his words properly? Come on, he know what the fuck he doing. I associate myself as a black man. He knows some niggas not gonna be able to comprehend what he did there. They think it's just some slick shit. I burned down the shit that I've got from your boss. Give a fuck about all that heritage shit. He know. Exactly. Associate with blackness? What the fuck is that? What are we talking about? I associate myself with blackness. Fuck is he talking about? But all right, bro. I'm gonna catch y'all. We gonna keep turning up. The video's out now. You feel me? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Go check it out. I'm gonna get in the comments and talk with y'all too. You feel me? Y'all right. I gotta do that more often. I've been trying to avoid the bullshit in the comments sometimes because some motherfuckers be in there tripping. But I'm gonna get in there, all right? So appreciate y'all. New video out right now. Go check it out. You feel me? And we gonna keep this shit pushing. You feel me? Protect hip-hop at all costs because protecting hip-hop protects the minds of our next black generation. You feel me? So I'm gonna catch y'all. Love y'all. Check out that video. Go click that video.